Ever since I was little, I always wanted to write a book. But how? I mean, how do authors crank out those hundreds and hundreds of pages? Sometimes it just seems overwhelming to just read one of those big fat books. So instead, I ended up writing a blog. And every morning I'd sit down and I'd write for 15 minutes and I'd post a few paragraphs. And the next day, I did a few more. And after a couple of years, I had most of the content for a book sorted out. It's called The Creative License. And I wrote my next book on my phone while I was walking. Each morning, I'd write a few thoughts down as I strolled to my office. And by the end of the year, I had another book. It was called Art Before Breakfast. The secret to achieving any goal, no matter how huge it is, isn't really a secret at all. Lao Tse shared it in chapter 64, I think it was, of the Tao. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So don't think about how big your project is. Realize that it's just a lot of tiny, manageable projects that are strung along in a row. That's how complicated software gets written. That's how blockbuster movies get made. That's how Stephen King pops out bestsellers every year, by breaking down this enormous project into its components. So you sit down, you make an outline, and then you knock off one of the to-dos. You sit down, you write a line, and you repeat. You sit down, you make a drawing on one blank page of your sketchbook, you turn the page, and you repeat. That's how I filled 100 sketchbooks, and I published a dozen books, one page at a time. When you work in these little bite-sized chunks, your brain is always chewing on your project in the background. And instead of it feeling like a mountain that's too steep to climb, it's just this process that you're in the middle of all the time. I love E.L. Doctorow, and I just finished rereading his epic novel, Ragtime. And he said, writing a novel is like driving a car at night. You can only see as far as your headlights, but you can make the whole trip that way. It doesn't have to be impossible. It doesn't even really need to be hard. In fact, you want to try to keep it from being too hard, because that will slow your momentum, and you want to keep rolling. You want to start your engine, you want to turn on the lights, and you want to hit the road. So what would you like to do? What project do you have in your mind that you can never seem to get around to starting because it just seems too huge? Just take the first step. Why not start today? The idea for this video started with one of the essays that I write every week. I write them just to send out to people who subscribe, and they're free. And I do it for the same reason that I make YouTube videos, because I have ideas and I really want to share them with you. You can get my essays too if you'd like. Just go to dannysessays.com, tell me where you want to get them, and I'll start sending them to you this week. I hope you do. Thanks for listening.